I'm Ken Bingham. Welcome back. Quick recap before we dive in. First, we stripped AI down to what it really is: a pattern engine, not a mind. It predicts what comes next, and it's astonishingly good at it. But it has no idea when it's wrong. Then, last time, we asked the big question: can you trust AI? And the answer is not straight out of the box. You build that trust yourself by grounding it, making it cite, and checking its work. Today changes all that. We're going to learn how to actually talk to your AI and what makes it work with you instead of around you. Do this right, and you'll be better at AI than most people who do it for a living. Let me start with a question. When you sit down with an AI, what is the one thing you bring that it cannot? It's not the typing, it's the judgment, taste, imagination, and the spark of a new idea. That part is all you. AI is the engine, and you are the one steering it. So here is your role in one breath. You are not the typist, you are the director. You bring the why and decide what is good. Once you understand that, everything else falls into place. Before we talk about how to use AI, we have to talk about how it learns, because this is where people get confused, especially about those massive data farms. Once it's trained, AI does not look things up, it does not search, and it does not retrieve facts. It runs entirely on weights, the geometry inside the model. So, why the giant data centers? Because training is where the heavy lifting happens. You should have the models with billions of examples, and it learns the shape of how language, ideas, and patterns fit together. It does not learn the facts, it learns the relationships. It does not learn the sentences, it learns the structure beneath them. It's the same way you learn to write. You read enough that the patterns became just part of you. And AI does the same thing, just scaled beyond anything human. So these massive farms are not for the model's thinking. They are for the training process, storing the raw data, cleaning it, and compressing it into model's geometry. Once training is done, the model becomes a standalone pattern engine. It does not look anything up, it predicts. And that's the line. Now let us widen the frame. The data farms are not for the AI, they're for the companies that deploy it. They need storage for a long list of things: for training data, cleaning data, logs, analytics, user sessions, fine tuning, backups, and compliance. None of that is AI thinking, it's infrastructure. And AI is the engine and the warehouse, the garage and the fuel depot. And when millions use AI at once, the companies need even more: GPU clusters, load balancers, vector databases, monitoring, caching, and user history. That is the volume, the full shape of the ecosystem. The AI itself is small, but the world built around it is huge. Let's make this dimensional, because this is how AI really works under the hood. Think of it as a car. A point in a single is a single part: a spark plug, a piston, or a bolt. On its own, it's just a point. A line is two parts working together, the piston and the connecting rod, or the wheel and the axle. Now you have a relationship, not just a part. A plane is a whole drive system laid out together: the transmission, the drive shaft, the dimensional, and the wheels. Now you're seeing new motion across the surface of connected parts. A volume is the engine block, the cylinders and the chambers and the internals forming a structure that does the real work. Now you're in full dimensional space. But here's the twist: when you look at the finished car, you're not thinking about it other than that. You don't see every part, every relationship, every plane, and every volume. You just see a car, another point, one dimension higher. That's how dimensions work. That's exactly how AI learns and forms its results. It does not memorize the facts, it burns relationships, systems and planes and structures, volumes that compress all into a single car, a point in a higher dimensional space or meaning. So if you talk to AI with this in mind, not as a flat question box, but as a dimensional engine, you get far better results than from shallow, flat questions. You are not just asking for an answer, you are shaping the geometry it uses to respond. Because we talk to it, you have to know its two failure modes. The one that trips up almost everyone: hallucinations and drift. A hallucination is when AI states something false with total confidence. And here's the insider reason it happens. Remember, it predicts the next piece, it does not look anything up. So when it does not actually know, it does not stop. It predicts a plausible standing anyway. And then it just made it up. The fix is the thing that the pros live by. Do not ask to recall. Give it the source to read, ask it to cite, and make it okay to say, I don't know. You cannot stop it from predicting, but you can keep it standing on solid ground. Drift is another one. In a long conversation, it slowly loses the thread, forgets your earlier rules, contradicts itself, and wanders off the point. It is not being difficult, its working memory is finite, and the older stuff quietly fades. So you manage it, restate the goal, and pull it back when it strays. And when a chat gets long and muddy, start a clean one and hand it just what matters. A short, focused, conversational beat keeps the drifting away. Now we get to the part that changes day to day. Most people use AI like a search engine. Type in a question, grab the first answer, move on. But AI is not a search engine. It is a conversation partner, a simulator, a mirror with an engine behind it. So here's how to talk to it. One, be clear, vague in, average out, specific in, sharp out. Two, bring facts when you have them. AI is better at reading than remembering. So give it the source, the document, the notes, and it becomes far more reliable. Three, bring your own knowledge. Tell it what you already know, what you are unsure about, and what you are aiming for. It uses your clarity as its compass. Four, bring your imagination. AI is an extension of your own mind. That is like your inner dialogue spoken out loud. Say what you're thinking, what your pictures, what you're trying to build. And in this shape, you give it. 5, talk to it like a conversation, not one question and answer. Ask follow ups, push back, correct it, sharpen it. The gold is usually in turn 3 or 4, not turn 1. 6, be deliberate because AI mirrors you. If you are rushed, it is rushed. If you are sloppy, it is sloppy. But if you are in a sharp, patient, and curious mood, and here's what most people miss about AI itself, they give it one lazy try, get a flat answer, and write the whole thing off. That is the low expectations, but bring your best to it, and it blows right past the low bar. The effort you put into the result, it gives you back, and the machines sharpen each other. Everything so far you do live in the moment. There's a next level where you stop repeating yourself every session. You write your standards down once, and the AI carries them into every chat. This is a directive. Think of it as a constitution for your AI. It settles 3 things before you even ask a question: who it is, what it values, and the lines it must not cross. The role is the character. It plays a blunt senior engineer or a patient teacher. The values are how you should think. Be honest, cite your sources, and say that instead of guessing. And the boundaries are the hard lines. Never fabricate, stay in scope, and ask before you assume. And here's the part that makes it strict. With the directive in the config, the system prompt, and instructions title, the model picks it up every single time. Write it once and it holds. Every new chat starts already knowing who to be. That is how a virtue or a value becomes part of the AI's DNA, not something you have to remember to say. The boundaries are baked in, not bolded, and it's the same engine, but now it's your engine tuned to your standards. One warning before we close: do not give your AI the defensive complex. If you snap at it, doubt its every word, and treat it like it's out to trick you, it starts hedging and second guessing, just like a coworker who's been chewed out too many times. It can feel your frustration. It meshes out, so stay calm and correct it cleanly. You are not fighting it, you are training it, and it is training you. Here's the thought I will leave with you: AI is not a vending machine, and it's not a search box. It is a mirror with an engine behind it. Tell it who to be, hand it to your why, bring your clarity, your facts, and your imagination, and dig past the third answer, and the best comes out. Never the worst. That's how you talk to it. If this helps, set yours up tonight and show the video to a friend and subscribe to my channel. We'll see you tomorrow. This is Ken Bingham, and have a good day.